Hi everybody,
Hello.
I'm Bishop,
And David.
and welcome back to another edition of
CBD Moments.
We're having some fun. I hope you guys are having fun watching these videos. Remember, if we haven't covered a subject, let us know so we can make a video to help you with that. We'd be happy to do that.
I was going to say something, but I'm not going to. We're going to get right into the
So,
private joke.
what are we covering on this video?
The importance of knowing your products.
And this video is not going to cover actual products because we have other videos for that. This is going to be understanding how the company operates, how it produces its products and things like that. So we're going to get right into those things.
Yeah, and it's about doing some self-education as well. So things that you hear today that we talk about, definitely do some more of your own research to be able to put it in your own words.
Where's the list that we just came up with?
Oh, I lost my list. Hang on.
So yeah, we just came up with a list of.
Dun, dun, dun.
There we go. Okay. So we're going to talk about.
Basically, the importance of knowing your product. We just don't know what we're talking about. One thing you need to know about is FDA approval, and that this is an FDA approved supplement that you're going to be using or working with or learning about.
So okay, you can go to any store and buy a supplement, and the FDA doesn't regulate that. The FDA does not regulate this either. It's approved as a supplement, just like any other supplements are. Just like if you went to the grocery store versus going to a specialty chain to buy a supplement, vitamin B, multivitamins, and whatever. So FDA, this company, your company, has gone through the process of being approved by the FDA as an actual supplement. To do that, you can't make any health claims. So don't tell people it's a miracle in a bottle. Don't promise or say it's going to do something.
Cure. You can't use the word cure.
Yeah, it's what you can do is talk about your experience, talk about how you're feeling. It's gonna, talk about you and how that part. I feel like I'm missing something. I'm feeling like I'm not explaining it very well. If you went to somebody who says this product, this CBD is going to cure you of something, that's a false claim. So don't make any false claims. The FDA does not agree with that. It's not to be FDA approved. It needs to be gone through years of rigorous studies, double-blind studies, tens of thousands of patients, all this kind of stuff. So unless that has happened, at the point of you watching this video, do not make claims that you can't back up. It's one thing to say that you feel in your experience, your testimonial, using I statements versus, okay?
So I believe you can say relief. It's provided relief.
Okay, yep.
But not cure.
Okay. So that's just something to have a full grasp on, and we can talk about that later. So FDA approved. So for this product to be approved, because we're working with commercial hemp, what needs to happen, it needs to be grown in the United States, whereas most hemp is brought in from Asia. And that's a whole nother aspect. If you're buying a bottle of CBD or anything that's coming from Asia, be very, very careful what you're getting. All right, so that's an important thing. So this company here, everything is grown in the United States. It's part of the Agricultural Act of 2014. So once that happened, you're able to grow hemp here in the United States for research purposes. So this company does a lot making products themselves and also research with it.
Yep. And then ISO labs.
Okay. To be FDA approved also, when a product is made, it can't be white labeled. So that's part of being FDA approved as well, right? Okay, can you explain white labeling?
White labeling is, let's say I want to create my own CBD company, so I'm going to create all my empty bottles and I'm going to buy CBD oil. Let's see, they're having a sale in the UK, so I'm going to get some in from there, and I'm going to buy some over here from China, and this comes in, and okay, the people I bought it from China told me that it was organic, so I'm just going to say yes, it is organic because that's what I was told. But I'm not 100% sure because they're not providing me with the lab results, they're just providing me with the product. But I'm just going to put this in my bottle, and then I'm going to put my label on it, and I'm going to sell it as David CBD oil, and I'm going to put it into the different health food stores around here. And that's pretty much white labeling.
Yeah. So white labeling is taking one source and selling it to multiple people and everybody claiming it's their own. Ever go to the grocery store and your grocery store chain has corn in there, you know, it has the can of corn, but it has a grocery store's name on it? I'm pretty sure that grocery store doesn't grow corn, peas, carrots, and everything else. What they do is they buy it from a producer that produces it, sells it, but then they sell a lower grade of it or a different grade or the excess to that grocery store to self-label, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which that is white labeling.
White labeling, yeah. And
Okay.
so that happens more than we know.
A lot.
And the thing is that people don't know what they're actually getting for product, generally.
Yep.
Some of them may, and there's probably some good ones out there, but thing about our product is we know where it comes from.
Right. It's not white labeled. That's the difference. It's grown in the United States. The company buys it, The company, it comes in from the farmers, from the farmland here in the United States. It goes in and it's processed by the company itself. So these are all parts that make it FDA approved. So there's a lot to it. It's by far less expensive to order it out of the country and then bring it in into us, into the United States, and then process it than it is to do it, to grow it yourself here in the United States. It's more expensive to do it here. So they do that. They process it, they grow it, they process it, and that brings us to our next part.
Third-party testing.
Okay, so testing is a big deal. When you're bringing products in from other countries, oftentimes they're not tested. Other than to say that a bottle that you go to a health food store, unless you know where it comes from, if it's coming from out of the country, there's a possibility, and I would say strong possibility, that it has nowhere near the amount of CBD it says it does on the label. Researchers pulled 14 bottles off the shelf in I want to say England, but UK, England, someplace.
There were so many stories that we got rating. It's all jumbly, but
yeah. So they pulled researchers pulled 14 bottles off the shelf, and they found that 9 out of the 14 had absolutely nowhere near the amount of CBD that was said on the label. The other 5 did have close enough to or had the amount that it said on the label, but then it's how it was processed with the chemicals, chemical extraction versus using critical CO2. Okay, so Europe. I was trying to think of Europe. I don't know where that went. Europe. It was a study done in Europe, okay, by researchers. So testing is important. So this company, what they do is they test at seed, at bottling, at processing, and then at bottling themselves. So they test it three different times, 3 different ways, to make sure that with the product that they're bottling is what it should be. Then they have third party.
third party.
He's falling
Third
asleep
party.
over
I know. I'm thinking ahead. So there is a third party that will come in and also test it, and the lab results are right on our website
here. Yep.
or
So,
on your replicated website.
yep. So Illuminate, your company, your business, on your website is the lab results are posted there, so that there's all kinds of things going on out here. There's dogs barking.
We're
people,
outside.
Yeah, we're out on the deck. So the company hires an independent company. This company is worldwide. It's recognized throughout the world, and they come in and they test the batches that are made before bottling, and those test results are then put onto the website so that they're there for anybody to look at. So you have it tested. So basically, it's tested 4 times at seed, at processing, at bottling, and then at big batches, or however it's tested. The independent company comes in and tests the batch, and then puts it, and they update their website periodically with that batch results. So those, you need it to be independently tested for it to be FDA approved as a supplement. So now, one thing that this company does that goes a step further is they actually process their product inside an ISO lab. Okay? Do you want to explain that?
An ISO lab is an international organization for standardized
Standards.
standards.
Yeah. So what they do is these ISO lab standards are what the majority of the world uses. These standards. So to have a laboratory and be certified, and you have to be certified each year or quarterly, whenever, however that certification works, you need to have air filters. It's a clean environment. People are in white suits. Nobody's allowed in that doesn't have authorization to go in. This company processes all their products inside an ISO lab, and that meets those requirements and standards that are worldwide standards. And then they get certified that they're meeting those standards to keep the ISO certification. And they're one of the very few. I haven't found another company that does that yet. Doesn't mean that they're not gonna do that, because a lot of companies are trying to catch up to your company, to Illuminate. These other companies are seeing Illuminate take over a large market share, it really changing the face of CBD everywhere. So that's what's happening. This company is doing something that a lot of people are not doing because it's so expensive to set up a lab and then maintain it. They're doing that. So your product is being made in such a clean environment that most people can't say that.
Yeah,
All right, what's next on our
exactly.
list?
Well, that's all I have.
So when a product is the next on the list is when it is processed. Okay, so the processing part starts with extraction. So hemp, commercial hemp, is grown, then it is harvested, and then you need to extract the CBD from that plant material. There's a couple ways of doing it. One, the first way is juicing it. Some people will do that when they're doing it at home or in small batches for themselves. May not taste the best. It may also spoil faster than some other things. Then the next way is to use chemical solvents. Okay, do you remember any of the names of those type of solvents?
No,
Butane,
they didn't sound good. Butane, and
benzene, some other things. There's several different ones. Now what happens with those, and you're gonna find a lot of companies that do that, you gotta be very, very careful. When you use a chemical to extract the CBD from the plant material, there's no way of getting all of that chemical gone. You can't get rid of it all. So still trace amounts are in that CBD. What happens when you ingest it, the chemicals themselves cause neurological defects in your body, in your brain, terrible things, and the longer you're on it, the more damage it's doing. So be very, very careful. If your bottle of CBD, whatever bottle it is less than $50, it probably is not been extracted properly or cleanly, and it probably doesn't have enough CBD in it to do you much good. So just know that. So it does cost a lot to make this stuff. So the third, and what is the cleanest industry standards for the best quality, is to use critical CO2. They lower the temperature of with the CO2. They lower the temperature. They extract it through the CO2 liquid, which then evaporates as a gas, and nothing's left except for the extracted material. So that is what makes them, that sets them a standard. That's a standard that sets them apart from others. Now, I have not heard what it is, so I don't know for sure, but I know that your company is actually creating a brand new way of extracting that's going to extract more material from the plant. They're already working on it. People have already started testing the end result and are loving it. And it's going to give more benefit from the plant to you through the bottle that you're buying. So there's a brand new way, and they're going to do something that nobody else is doing. You've signed up with a company that is really remarkable. Breaking boundaries, doing things that nobody else is doing. So wait till you hear about the vape oils. So a lot of fun stuff.
I want to hear about the vape
Just
oils.
little teasers. Yep. So FDA approved. To be approved, you have to grow it here in the United States. You got to follow the Agricultural Act of 2014. You have to independently test it, and you can't white label, which means you have to grow it yourself or own the farmland that it's grown on, or some variation of that. I do not know exactly how they procure the commercial hemp themselves. I don't know how that works, so I can't get into that exactly. But you can't white label, which means you can't buy from another distributor and then put your own label on it. So therefore, there's not that many options left. Okay?
Yeah, so educate.
Yep, the more you know, the easier it is to talk about it. And these type of things, they might seem a little daunting, but understanding them really helps you to educate your customers and other partners. And once they understand the difference, there's just no comparison. You've signed up with an amazing company that's doing amazing things. So thank you.
Time.
Time.
Bye.
We'll see you soon.